the devil's lettuce, the wacky backy, and the boof. Just some of the words used to describe God's great green gifts to the earth. This video is for all of you aspiring warmers of the Elden stool, who want a place to kick back and relax on your journey to the top. Or accomplished Elden Lords who want a break from all the bureaucracy and just want a place to light up a stick of that Elden tree. So join me on a tour of all the best spots to get your inner philosopher on. But as always, thanks for clicking on the video, and let's get right into this. For followers of the Ranni questline, why not take a load off in one of the most serene and isolated locations in the game, and escape the veritable shithole down below you known as Liurnia. What could be more relaxing than lighting one up and letting the cool air of the eternal night wash over you? It's only natural that this place also has some significance to you. It is, after all, where you got married, and you can come up here every anniversary and stew over the fact that your bitch wife left you to go and huff stardust, while you're down here keeping the world from getting into an even shittier state than it's already in. I mean, who the hell does she think she is? God? Oh yeah. But at this point, nobody can blame you for wanting to come up here and have a bit of alone time when Ranni fucked off to go and do the same. And while you're here, why not tinker a bit and see if you can't fashion yourself some kind of new glintstone infused strain. Call it Lusat's Big Blue Ballsack or something. Or better yet, just call it Absolute Misery, to reflect how you feel about your life when you're lucid enough to think about it for more than 2 seconds. In the deepest, dankest depth of the world, something stirs. And that something is your mind being blown wide open from a cocktail of long-lost spices that have got you weighing the pros and cons of becoming a merchant back up on the surface. Alternatively, you could just keep it all to yourself, because you do have free will. Either way, come take a load off, immerse yourself in nature under the visage of a starry sky, and begin your spiritual journey. Become one with the ancestor spirits and partake in ancient rituals you don't fully understand. Listen to the siren's song as you tread barefoot through ancient groves, searching for new species of mushroom and making friends with magic glowing animals in what can only be described as an out-of-body experience. Purchase a tie-dye shirt, some tinted glasses, and a bong shaped like a phallus, and become the tree-hugging hippie you were always meant to be. Clap yourself down on a ledge somewhere and contemplate never going back to the surface. And once you've done all that, wake up in a forest somewhere and realise you were never even down there to begin with. What a trip. This one's for those of you that have already made the rounds of the realm, seen it all, sent a small country's worth of people to an early grave, and racked up a death count that makes your life savings look like a fucking joke. Of course, this place isn't always so peaceful, but after a hard day of listening to a bunch of jobsworths nagging you about running the realm or some shit, there can be no better place to light one up than your newly conquered throne. This gilded pedestal far above all the noise offers near panoramic views of your realm, and allows you to look upon the crumbling infrastructure of a once great city, as you tell yourself that one day you'll get around to fixing that. It truly is one of life's greatest pleasures to gaze down upon the shambling peons of your realm and come to the realization that you're somehow doing a worse job than fucking Morgoth. So light one up in the Hobo King's memory, and come to terms with the fact that this is your life for the foreseeable future. It's a good thing you have an infinite supply of the good stuff quite literally raining down on your head, because something tells me you're gonna need it. Have you ever wished that you too could have participated in the original Woodstock Festival and stuck it to the man? Well, in Elden Ring, you too can dance about in a field of flowers with a bunch of dirty hippies. Head up to the cliffs, roll up a fat one, and admire the scenic views of bumfuck nowhere before heading down into town and getting your groove on. The fact that the festival entirely consists of women is great, if you ignore the fact that most of them look old enough to have actually attended the original Woodstock. But get enough kush in the system and it won't even matter, because their faces will all start to melt off like butter anyway. Weed, windmills, and fields of flowers. I'm starting to think this entire place is just a metaphor for Amsterdam. You'll hardly have time to notice any of these things however as you start to hallucinate the entire village's eyes going red as they all begin bolting towards you, only to realise it's not a hallucination when you've already been strung upside down from a cross and are having your fucking skin peeled off. For those of you that want to get high but not too high, then this is the place for you. Far above the rest of the lands between, sealed off from the common man and his unimportant problems. This is the perfect place to let the mountain breeze brush your skin, cozy up by the fire with a rollie, and ponder life's greatest questions. Like, why do each of my hands have 10 fingers all of a sudden? Does my sword not being straight make it a homosexual? And why is Mikola such a fucking cunt? Alternatively, you can come back here at the end of the game and watch the world's only actual light source burn to cinders in front of you, realise you miss Melina, and contemplate why you didn't do the frenzied flame ending instead. And as you stand on the precipice of the world's biggest ashtray and consider if jumping in is a viable strategy to get out of going to work tomorrow, you'll notice the veritable forest of corpses surrounding you and realise it could be worse. Not much worse, but enough to get you back down on your ass and pretending like tomorrow will never come. So sit back, light up another one, and take pride in the fact that you just sent an entire species into extinction. Farum Azula is the place to go if you just really want to escape it all. Up here, nobody can bother you. It's just you, your thoughts, and several tons of flying rock travelling at max speed. Take a wander around, explore ornate gardens, ancient tombs, and join the Mile High Club with a random object of your choosing. Just don't go plummeting several thousand feet to your death because you forgot in your weakened state of mind that you can't fly. Of course, you can also go and converse with the spirits roaming the halls that appeared after you opened your mind's eye. Unfortunately, you'll probably only realise you weren't hallucinating after you've already had your organs ripped out and sacrificed to the old gods. And God forbid you get sleepy and decide to take a wee lie down, cause in which case you'll be whisked off into a time dilation field and be greeted by a giant fuck-off dragon. Now at this point you're like 90% sure this is all just a hallucination, but you'll never know cause you can infinitely respawn, and at this point the mystery is probably more comforting than the truth. After stumbling your way through the Zinchian corridors of the Black Keep, you could be forgiven for wanting to take a wee seat, soak in the scenery, and chillax. Endless, meandering fields of long-lost herbs, bathed in the golden light of grace. It's almost enough to take your mind off the fact that this place is the site of one of the most horrific series of war crimes in Elden Ring's history. But at the end of the day, you've just spent like 10 hours trudging through stuff almost as bad as that anyway, so having anywhere to sit and actually relax is a pure blessing. Especially somewhere so goddamn pretty. So on you go. Immerse yourself in the mellow yellow at the end of the world and wonder if this is the true meaning of life. Smoke enough of the plant life here and you're starting to think that maybe that Marika chick was onto something after all. And a few hours after that, you're wondering if you too have what it takes to become a new age girl boss. But then you remember where exactly that got her, and figure you rather enjoy not being crucified. Though staying here forever doesn't seem like such a bad idea. The houses look like where you'll end up in 10 years anyway, so you might as well live somewhere with a view. That is, until you remember that Mikola is still very much alive, and pigs will fly before the day you can achieve true inner zen with that fucking femboy still drawing breath. Ah well, it was nice while it lasted. Now many of you may question the safety of a dog den located in the deepest recess of the foreskin of reality. And sure, this one is definitely only for the more adventurous people out there. But as long as you don't make eye contact with the homeless guy folding in the corner, it's actually pretty safe. I must admit, the fact that the dealer looks suspiciously like a child quickly takes this place from looking like a respectable crack den to a county lines operation. But let's be honest, if you're trekking all the way down here for a taste of the latest strain, you're probably not all that bothered about any ethical considerations. And speaking of, the stuff here is top of the line. So much so that this fucking lightweight Tiolier got one whiff of the stuff back when he was still inside his mother's womb, and has since dedicated his entire existence to sniffing out the source. Naturally, the location of this place is a closely guarded secret, but after following Tiolier around for long enough, he'll eventually lead us there, where not only will you find plenty of the good shit, but also something far more devious. St. Trina's special concoction that's capable of getting you so blazed out of your mind that your heart might actually just fucking stop. Make no mistake, this place is not for the weak, but goddammit, you're the motherfucking tarnished and you've got shit to prove. So on you go, champ. Get crossfaded on a mix of your favourite tree, some dubiously sourced mystery liquid, and engulf yourself in the fumes of the devil's cabbage patch. Marika be damned if a little bit of chronic heart failure is gonna stop ya. Now, I'm something of a Cerulean Coast glazer, alright guys? I mean, every inch of it is utterly fucking gorgeous. This is where you'd actually want to be if you were trying to chill out for a bit and escape reality. Pick any spot you want, get lost in a sea of bliss, realise your piss is now bluer than the DEI hired at work's hair, and repeat ad nauseum. To be honest, I couldn't think of too much to say for this segment. I mean, the place really does just speak for itself. Just don't mistake one of these worm dudes for some kind of funky looking bong, and it's basically heaven on earth. Well, you've made it. You're at the top. You've conquered the fucking world, exterminated several entire bloodlines, and finally rid the universe of this two-faced little twat. You take in the quiet atmosphere. This is where Marika ascended to godhood after all, and set in motion the chain of events that turned your life into perpetual fucking misery. Trace the steps that she took to get to the top, wonder if that funky little meat flap is still hiding around here somewhere, for no particular reason of course. Contemplate stepping through the barrier. Realize you'd be turned away at the door because of your crippling dependency issues. Then figure you'd really rather not become a god because a god probably isn't subject to the deficiencies of the mortal mind. And what good is life if you can't be on something to make you enjoy it more? Either way, this place is simply it. It's the end of the road, and of our journey in the game, and plopping yourself down with a fat stack of spinach might as well be the way to finish your journey off. Alright, thanks everybody for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to light up that like button before you realise you just spent the last 11 minutes taking smoking advice from a guy who hasn't touched an ounce of weed in his life. If you're interested in something similar, why not check out this video where I rank all of the areas in the game by how livable they are. Either way, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.